Hello, and welcome to Newport News, Virginia. We're so excited that you've joined us today for a special tour of our city, and we know after watching this you'll love Newport News as much as we do. Newport News is 70 square miles in size and reaches from a downtown waterfront in the south to the north towards Williamsburg. We'll take you to all of it, starting in the northern part of the city at the Newport News Visitor Center. The Visitor Center is where any visit to Newport News should start. It's located right off Interstate 64 at exit 250B at the entrance of Newport News Park and is open daily from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Well-trained travel counselors stand ready to assist guests in making the most of their Newport News experience. The center's gift shop is also a great place to get your Newport News and Virginia's for Lovers souvenirs, but that's not even the half of it. Our visitor center is located at the entrance of one of the largest municipal parks east of the Mississippi River. Newport News Park offers a wide variety of year-round activities including camping, hiking, biking, picnicking, paddle boating, canoeing, archery, and fishing. The park has 188 campsites, which all include grills and concrete pads, most with electrical hookups. Just up the road from Newport News Park is Enview Plantation. Built in 1769 by William Harwood, the T-frame Georgian-style house served as a Confederate hospital during the Civil War's 1862 Peninsula campaign. The house witnessed important events during the American Revolution, the War of 1812, and the Civil War. Enview Plantation is open year-round and is the site of many events and reenactments.
Where you from, boy? Virginia! Where you from, boy? Virginia!
Less than a mile down the road is Lee Hall Mansion. Completed in 1859 for Richard Lee, this mansion is an architectural masterpiece and one of the last remaining antebellum homes on the Virginia Peninsula. The home briefly served as a military headquarters during the Civil War. Today, Lee Hall Mansion is visited year-round and is the site of many special events.
All aboard for Lee Hall Depot!
Our next stop is the Lee Hall Depot. Built in 1881, this historic Lee Hall Depot is the last remaining train station from the C&O Railroad's expansion into Warwick County. The restored depot offers exhibits highlighting the impact of the railroad on Warwick County and the city of Newport News, as well as information on railroad history and Lee Hall Village. Continuing down Warwick Boulevard, we come to Fort Eustis, a United States Army installation that combined with Langley Air Force Base in 2010 to form Joint Base Langley Eustis. The base is home to the U.S. Army Transportation Museum, which tells the story of the Army's Transportation Corps from horse-drawn wagons to all-terrain armored vehicles. Indoor and outdoor exhibits feature wagons, trucks, airplanes, helicopters, tugboats, and experimental crafts such as a flying jeep.
Our next stop on your tour is the central part of our wonderful city. Here you will find many restaurants, hotels, museums, and Christopher Newport University. Founded in 1960 as Christopher Newport College, a two-year branch of the College of William and Mary, this public liberal arts institution gained its independence in 1977 and became a university in 1992.
It's just the way it is.
Housed inside this beautiful campus is the Ferguson Center for the Arts, which features a 1,725-seat concert hall, a 453-seat theater, and a 200-seat studio theater. Also located on campus is the school's new Visual Arts Center, the Mary M. Torgler Fine Arts Center. Take a turn on the Avenue of the Arts and you'll find the Mariners Museum and Park. It is one of the largest and most comprehensive maritime history museums in the world. The Mariners Museum is one of two museums in the country designated by Congress as America's official maritime museum. For over 90 years, the Mariners Museum has been a steward of one of the world's most extensive maritime collections, committed to the preservation and conservation of more than 32,000 artifacts. Also located along the Avenue of the Arts, a section of J. Clyde Morse Boulevard, is the Virginia Living Museum, the area's animal attraction and dinosaur destination. Just one visit here brings you in contact with more habitats, wildlife, and plant species than would be encountered in a lifetime of outdoor adventures in Virginia. Directly across from the Virginia Living Museum, you can enjoy more animals at the Peninsula SPCA and Barnyard. The SPCA is an adoption guarantee or no-kill shelter, while the Barnyard provides visitors the opportunity to play with, feed, and pet farm animals. They also have a walk-through parakeet aviary and a rabbit run. As you can see, there are plenty of animal adventures in Newport News.
As we continue south on our tour, you'll visit one of the city's most beloved and historic neighborhoods, Hilton Village. Hilton Village, America's first government-planned community, was developed in 1918 to house workers for the Newport News Shipyard during World War I. Now, it's not only a beautiful neighborhood, it's a trendy restaurant district featuring food from American to Mediterranean. And it's a great shopping district with specialty shops and stores with unique local flavor. Also, one of the classic Newport News theaters is here. Once known as the Village Theater, today this beautiful ex-movie house is the home to the Peninsula Community Theater. Just down the street, you'll find Huntington Park, a place where you can swim in the James River and hang out at the beach. There's a free boat ramp, picnic shelters, a seasonal grill for food, a beautiful rose garden, kids' fishing pier, and so much more. Enjoy an interpretive program, tire the kids out at an incredible Fort Fun, or get some exercise playing tennis at one of the 20 hard courts in the tennis center. Huntington Park is also the home to one of the city's older attractions, the Virginia War Museum. Artifacts, weapons, vehicles, uniforms, a section of the Berlin Wall, and posters tracing the development of the United States military from 1776 to the present can be found at this exceptional museum.
So far, you have visited the northern and central areas of our city, and now we're going to explore the southern section. One of the most visible sights you'll see here is the Newport News Shipyard. Newport News Shipbuilding, the largest industrial employer in Virginia, is located here. This company is the only designer, builder, and refueler for the United States Navy's aircraft carriers, and is one of two providers of the United States Navy submarines. While tours of the shipyard are not available to the public, These ships can be viewed from Victory Landing Park along the waterfront of Newport News. Right next to Victory Landing Park is the monument that gives it its name, the Victory Arch. Established in 1919 and later rebuilt in 1962 when an eternal flame was added, this memorial is dedicated to those who served in the American Armed Forces during periods of war. During World War I, troops returning home would march under the arch and were met by large crowds of local citizens. The south end of Newport News is rich in history. James A. Fields was a teacher, lawyer, and member of the Virginia House of Delegates. His home was used as a law office and was the first Newport News hospital for Black residents. Now, this house can be toured to get a glimpse into the lives of our African American community in the 1900s. Another house nearby that has been turned into a museum is the Newsom House Museum and Cultural Center. J. Thomas Newsom was the first African American lawyer to practice before the Virginia Supreme Court. His house now showcases exhibits featuring African American art, history, and culture in Newport News. Another major cultural center in Newport News is the Downing Gross Cultural Arts Center, featuring the Ella Fitzgerald Theater, named after the Queen of Jazz herself, who was born right down the street from this important facility. Typically, the center is an event space, but it also holds plenty of exhibits of Newport News culture that the public can view during normal business hours.
And don't forget, a visit to Newport News wouldn't be complete unless you shop till you drop. We have a wide variety of shopping opportunities, with more than 200 stores from boutiques to bargains, from locally owned specialty stores and national retailers to eclectic collections of antique, thrift, and consignment shops. We offer retail therapy that is not only charming and personal, but effective. Newport News Tourism has several different publications to enhance your experience when visiting our city. The Newport News Visitor Guide is produced annually and gives up-to-date information on the city's attractions, lodging, dining, performing arts, shopping, and everything else fun to do in our city. The World War I Guide highlights the transformation of our city in preparation for war when we became an important port of embarkation. Over 250,000 soldiers left Newport News for Europe, along with 4 million tons of supplies and close to 500,000 horses and mules. We offer 3 different driving tours. The first is an audio driving tour of the entire city, full of stories about Newport News and its fascinating history. Secondly, our Civil War driving tour includes the site of the world's first battle between ironclad ships that changed naval warfare forever. The story of the Civil War is the story of the people, men and women, black and white, slave and free, rich and poor, decorated generals and 18-year-old privates. Come and meet them all, right here in Newport News. The third is a public arts driving tour that takes you to over 30 works of art, many of which are on an audio tour app where you'll hear the artists themselves tell you about the inspiration behind their sculptures. So, if you were actually doing this tour, you'd probably be getting hungry right about now. From delicious down-home diners, quaint cafes, or fabulous 5-star restaurants, we have something to satisfy every taste bud. Virginia seafood and pork are some of the best in the world.
And when it's time to work off some of that fine cuisine, Newport News has plenty of traditional and unique trails ready for you to explore. Located at the Mariners Museum and Park, the award-winning 5-mile Nolan Trail is perfect for you and Fido to walk, hike, or run. 11 great pet-friendly hiking trails can be found at Newport News Park, and over 7,000 acres are ready for you to explore. In Newport News, our bike trails range from leisurely to challenging. For recreational biking, visit Newport News Park and Riverview Farm Park Trail. For more adventurous riders, explore our mountain bike trails at Harwoods Mills Trail and the Mariners Lake Trail. Thirsty after all that exercise? Check out Toast the Coast, our beer, wine, and shine trail. This pocket guide has everything you need for sipping your way through coastal Virginia. Here you will find Newport News' very own ironclad distillery and breweries like Coastal Fermentory, Tradition Brewery, and Twisted Knot. If you love craft beer and spirits, you'll love the 4 Taps, 4 Cities, and 3 Barrels, 3 Cities trails that take you through Newport News, Hampton, Smithfield, and Williamsburg.
As you've seen in this tour, the parks of our city offer almost everything you'd ever want when going outdoors, including water. You can enjoy our many fresh and salt waterways, boat, canoe, paddle boats, and kayaks, fishing on inland lakes in the expansive Chesapeake Bay. You can do it all in Newport News, including getting out on a number of long fishing piers, like this one on the James River at Huntington Park. This 2,364-foot long fishing pier was created using the remnants of the original James River Bridge.
After-hours entertainment and annual special events are also a hit in Newport News. While our attractions feature their own special events, the City of Newport News celebrates families with the Children's Festival of Friends, autumn with the Newport News Fall Festival, and the holidays with Celebration and Lights, all held in Newport News Park. Which brings us back to where we started.
I'm so glad you had a chance to tour our beautiful city today and learn all about the great things going on here. Keep in touch by joining our Facebook page and other social media platforms. Request our brochures through our website and visit us in person real soon. Remember, Virginia's for lovers, so come feel the love for yourself right here in Newport News.